Now, it's never a good day when Brian Keogh, who has been writing about golf since 1999, has to Google half the leaderboard. Jonathan Vegas, Ryan Gerard, Alex Smalley, Rio Hitsune, Rafael Campos, anybody? I thought not. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow. Is it that hot? Was it that hot?
It was.
How is it for you, Brad?
It was a long day, I can tell you that, for Lutton. It was a long day. I mean, we've been here for about 14 hours. Tom McKibben's just finished. 5.5 hours. Brilliant round. First round, under par in a major, 70, but that really gave out its slumps today, some of the leaders, especially some of the best players in the world.
Okay. So let's go with the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, tied 20th.
Yeah, 2 under 69. Didn't play very well, really. And yet, he's number one in the world not for no reason. Yeah. The reason he is number one in the world is because he's able to grind out a score, you know?
Right. Rory tied 98. Man, who saw that one coming?
Well, you know.
One here 4 times.
One here 4 times.
Fellas running around selling Rory Slam t-shirts.
That's right. Yeah.
They're going,
he's like
they're going cheap tonight.
Yeah. And if he had said he'd water across the lake on the 17th, you would have believed it. But the high, when you have the high like the Masters, maybe we all brought into this, didn't we? Really?
No. Sorry, I'm not buying that.
You're not buying that?
No, I didn't buy it. No. I actually had an argument now with several people in here this week who were selling that rubbish. Like doing the 4 majors in a year. I mean, Jesus Christ. Never been done before. I think actually our paper ran a column on it. Just nonsense. So we're not going to go.
But not the Grand Slam. The fact that he was going to do well here.
Yeah.
The high of the Masters. And coming here after that. I asked Pádraig after. I said, after you won the Open in 2007, I mean, I know Rory's won a few majors, quite a few majors at this stage, but I mean, it must have taken, he says, there's no doubt about it, to come down from that, when you get to that kind of a high, massive high like that, you have to eventually come back down there. He just didn't hit the ball very well.
I don't think, I mean, I've never seen him, and you go right back to him as well, and you covered him when he won the West.
Yeah.
And he was only a kid.
Yeah.
I've only seen him in as good a form as he was for his press conference, pre-tournament press conference yesterday.
He was happy, man.
Oh, he was absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a mood thing or a come down, but there was something definitely very off with his game. He went to the range, which on a really hot, sweaty day like today, when he was out early, was unusual. Yeah. He stayed there for an hour, and he walked off, I think, feeling less well about himself than he walked on. So he didn't find what he was looking for, is what I'm trying to say.
He had a kind of a two-way miscut. He was sort of going left on the front line, and he was trying to hit this cut on his back nine. He was going right, going left. Didn't hold very many cuts either, but I watched him on the front line. The body language is pretty good. I mean, he was disappointed, obviously, with the score. I mean, he bogeyed the last hole as well, which doesn't help. Scotty Scheffler, of course, hit it into about 6 inches just to make him feel a little bit better about it. He's 5 behind Scheffler now, but I mean, it's not the most disastrous round. He's going to leave him with a little bit of work to do to make the cut now. I think he's probably going to have to shoot 69 to make the cut. 1 over, maybe 2. But he has shot 61 around here, so it wouldn't be right.
So the other top of 4s up is Xander Schauffele tied 60, Colin Morikawa tied 29th, Justin Thomas tied 73. What about the golf course, Brian?
It's
Hunter Mahan, the former American Ryder Cup player, said something brilliant this week. I guess I would say Quail Hollow is like a Kardashian. It's very modern, beautiful, and well kept, but it lacks soul or character. Now listen, I got to be honest, I had to Google what a Kardashian was, but I get it now.
I don't know which one, but it's a beautiful golf course.
Yeah.
We've spent an absolute fortune on renovating this golf course. It's in a very well-heeled area town. I mean, this is an exclusive golf course.
Yeah.
It's very long. It's very pretty. It's very wet. And the greens are very firm.
Steady on there.
Yes, steady on there.
This is not an X-rated program.
But it is. I mean, it is relentless. It is. I mean, there isn't really any let up. There's a couple of risk reward holes coming down on the back nine there. The 14th, the driver who won, the 15th, reachable par 5. Then you got the last 3. The green mile, that big long 16th, 17th.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
And the greens are firm.
I get all that.
And very
I get all
fast.
that, but it was supposed to be a bomber's golf course. Like,
Sure.
fellas who hit it long.
Yeah.
And, you know, Rory, DeChambeau.
DeChambeau,
What did
yeah.
he do, DeChambeau?
Shambo, 71.
71. There you go.
Level part.
Level par. Not too bad, but still.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, so what was it for?
They were finding it difficult to hold the ball on the greens, and when they got on the greens, they're fast. I mean, they are extremely, these are new greens, so they're very firm and they're very fast. I mean, Pádraig was saying that after his round, he was going, you know, early doors, and he was out at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
He was going 20 footers, a lot of movement on them, and you're sort of going, gee, that could go 3.5, 4 feet past, and all of a sudden then, you know, you're sweating. So Tom McKibben was talking about just how mentally draining it was out there in majors. You know, he's only played in 2 majors. This is his 3rd one. You know, his 9th round in a major. And it's said, you know, the difference between these tournaments and the other ones is there's trouble everywhere lurking, and you're always on tenterhooks. We can't relax.
And Tom, the best of the dreaded best of the Irish.
Yes.
To talk about that category, Tom tied 29, 1 under. Seamus Power tied 60.
Yeah.
1 over. Pádraig tied 73, 2 over. Shane tied 73, 2 over. And Rory, we've already spoken about, tied 93. Now, you spoke to the lads, Brian, did you, today with the kids?
Yeah, I went out and had a word with all the lads.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, 2 of them, you know, as they came straight off the golf course, Seamus Power and Pádraig Harrington, both, apart from having to talk to the likes of us, were hauled away for, you know, dope tasting as well,
Oh,
just
now it's getting interesting. That's last.
just to add to
a bit of scandal.
just to add to the drama, yeah. But you know, I think Seamus was off first. Actually, you know, he was in for a spuller, and he shot. What did he shoot? Yeah, he shot a couple over par, and he said, you know, I felt like it could have been 3-4 under par, but he made, you know, a couple of double bogeys, a couple of mistakes.
Right.
He made an eagle too, he made a birdie, and then he'd make a mistake, and he just felt a little bit frustrated, a little bit hard done by.
I see, he spent a lot of time here, didn't he, in Charlotte?
Yeah, he lived here for 10 years.
Yeah.
He loves the golf.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But he got off to it. You know, he buried the first, and then, of course, you know, he makes a double bogey on the second hole, and then he bogeyed his 3rd hole. It bounced on the green. You could hear the talk off the green at that 12th green is rock hard, straight over the green. Then he goes and he makes a 2 on the 14th and a birdie on the 15th. He's gone, great, I'm under par here. And then, bang, water left on 16, and it's a start all over again, you know. So he was a little bit down about the finish that he had to shoot 72, but he's thereabouts. I mean, what is he, tied for 16? There's a good chance of making the
And
cut.
Shane hates the place.
Shane he really does hate the play. And he played, you know, Shane was 1 under for his last 11 holes.
Yeah.
And he bogeyed the last on
Right.
top of that.
Right.
You know, but he was, you know, I mean, not to dwell on putting or anything, but he clearly doesn't like the greens around here. I mean, he was well down, like Rory, about 150 at that 156, putting 33 putts. And he holed one from about 25 yards,
Yeah.
and he holed another one from 25 feet. But he hit the ball extremely well. So, you know, we asked me, do you think there's a round in you tomorrow? And he says, well, the way I'm feeling right now, probably not. I just can't see the birdies out there. Just see how he's going to make birdies.
Right.
He's here, but I don't think he wants to be here, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Do we want to be here?
I don't know. I mean, a golf tournament is going to kick off at some stage, because those greens are going to get harder and harder. And then there's the whole thing about the mud balls.
Right. Explain this to me, the mud ball.
Mud balls,
Okay,
yeah.
so the mud ball, obviously, the fairways were playable yesterday.
Yeah.
Your feet were squelching on them when you're walking up the middle of the fairway. Normally in a situation like this, I say normally,
PGA Tour.
in a PGA Tour event, there would be placing then, where if you hit a drive, it takes a bit of muck on it when it lands, you're able to lift it, clean it, place it.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, that would be the situation. I mean, there was still enough.
Because the mud affects...
It sticks to one side of the ball or the other side of the ball, and all of a sudden the spin takes it and it goes left or right. You don't know where the hell it's going to go.
Okay. And Scotty Scheffler says very cutting, interesting stuff about that when he came in. In fact, it was most un-Scotty-like, because there was a real edge to what he said about the decision not to allow placing. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, he did speak about links golf and, you know, true golf, you know, there's no placing because the turf is as it is, etc., etc. But he just sort of say in American golf, you know, really, I'm not going to talk about this too much because he was getting fed up being asked about it. They really probably should have played the ball up. But Kerry Haig, who's an Englishman who runs the tour, play the ball up.
Are you familiar with that expression?
No, placing. That's what we call
We play
placing.
places, because I heard him saying that. And I actually had to ask a couple of the reporters here, what's it mean by playing it up and playing it down?
Yeah, playing it down, play it as it lies, play it up, mark it in place.
Okay. So it's not just me. That's very much
it's an Americanism, yeah.
Okay.
But he did say, you know, they should have for me that place today. You know, even Shane said, you know, it's hard enough. You probably could have had. In fact, he was joking. He said, I said to Pádraig, he said, if you're out first this morning, have a word, will you? Maybe I'll influence it. But they made the decision last night because they just do not want in a major to have any place. And they had it in the PGA final round.
Jimmy Walker won.
Malta's roll.
Yes. Did Jimmy Walker win that?
2016 was it?
There you go.
2016. Just to get them finished. Because it was the only way they could get them finished. But they didn't want to have place. But the problem is, there was still a little bit of water on the fairways today, so it was kind of washing a lot of the mud off the ball. But like on the 16th hole, Rory made a 6, but he'd been in the rubbish left and he made a bad 6. But Scheffler and Schauffele were in the middle of the 16th fairway and they both hooked it left into the water with mud on the ball. So that was a bit of an unusual situation, but it's probably going to get worse from now on as the place dries out. So what Schauffele was saying, in that the fairways dry out on top, but then there's mud underneath, so that might actually get worse as the weekend goes on. And as the greens get firmer, this could become a little bit of a demolition derby. So that leaderboard you were talking about earlier on, I wouldn't be paying too much attention to, would you? Who's the real leader?
Mud balls. I'm not sure about mud balls. I think I'd rather be talking about the Kardashians. But hopefully tomorrow we'll have a lot more positive news and a lot better things to talk about. Thanks for joining us.